Well, hello, everybody. It is Late Night Broncos Talk with your host. I am the Kodiak, and overall, yeah, I am super fired up for this one because it is a special Saturday night edition, November 22nd, 2025 edition of Denver Broncos After Dark, or I should say Denver Broncos Tonight. And yeah, while I'm waiting for the handful of you that usually pop in, also, I got to set up my camera real quick. I forgot. All right. It's cool. All right. Yes, here we go. So here we go. Oh, also here's what my full bed looks like. All right, now I'm setting up my camera. Here you go. Also, I'm gonna turn off my TV. I was watching the Avs, and yes, Mark sums it up perfectly right here. The answer is the Colts. Like, no matter what you guys want to talk yourselves into, we have a better chance of winning these playoffs and going into. I would go to Lucas Oil in the divisional round, the conference championship, or whatever. And yes, like you'd think the answer would be obvious, but this is not the overwhelming consensus on Twitter or anything like that. But yeah, also Mark, I figured you would love my name in the bottom left right here. I added a little wrinkling, whatever to it. So somebody called me delusional for saying that the Chiefs need to stay out. Hold on, I'm going to share this with you guys. Here we go. Yeah, at the Pac-12 Depot, Mark, at the Pac-12 Depot Rally House, they had UCLA. They had so much Pac-12 stuff, and I bought a Washington shirt, I bought a USC shirt, I bought an Oregon shirt, and just a bunch of whatever. We only lost to the Colts because of a bow interception and a phantom leverage call. I wouldn't say phantom leverage call. Like, was it annoying they called it? Yes, but ultimately it was a penalty. Like, I agree it's annoying that they called it, but yeah. People forget we were at least going to put up 3 points. Yes, they were. And also, I would throw the I will agree that the bow interception played a part in this, but also the let's miss kick. That was bad. Hold on. So here we go. I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna share this with you guys. So here we go. Yeah. Okay. Wait, why does it keep it won't let me click on my own tweet? What? Oh, I keep clicking on my profile by accident. All right. So here's what I said. So Anthony Rodriguez right here, I don't remember who he works for, is saying that the amount of responses is pretty funny. He says, is your hatred for the Chiefs more important than winning the Super Bowl? Because an increased chance of the number one seed is more important than your hatred for the Chiefs. And I don't agree at all. Once again, I'm going to Lucas Oil, and then here's my sentiment. This is what I think. This is my sentiment. The Chiefs missing entirely gives us a much better chance at the Super Bowl than having the one seed does. And that's not even a question to me. It's not even a question to me, but oh well, some other people disagree, I guess. And then one of the guys in my replies said, this is an insane take. The Broncos having to play in the wild card round and then go on the road gives them a better chance than home field advantage throughout the playoffs and the bye. He said that even though I said that the Chiefs staying out was more important, he says that I'm acting like they're the 1985 Chicago Bears. So this is I don't know if you guys have anything to rebuttal with this, then sure, like go ahead. But the only thing that you need to look at with the Chiefs is they have been to the AFC Championship every year. Patrick Mahomes is a starter. You cannot count out Patrick Mahomes. He is not dead until he's dead. Exactly. I'm not wanting to play Patrick in the playoffs. Yes, and whoever gets them as like a 6-7 seed, insert hilariously unfunny joke here about 6-7. whoever gets the Chiefs as a 6-7 seed is probably getting the short end of the stick. Because it's probably the worst 2 versus 7 matchup that the 2 seed has gotten in years. Usually the 2 seed dominates those matchups, but yeah. What in the UCLA Bruins? Also, I think the Bruins are getting smoked right now by Washington. But yeah, hold on. I'm going to slide my camera a little over here. All right, perfect. Broncos country tonight, Saturday, November 22nd, 10:01 p.m. Happy to go live. I went live for 3 hours last night with y'all because y'all did such an amazing job in the chat. So make sure that you guys are hopping in the chat. Make sure you guys are giving your takes as well. And also, I don't know why my camera's doing that. I don't know why it's doing like the auto lighting thing. But yeah, so this is, hold on. I'm going to pull up the quote tweet from Anthony Rodriguez. He says that Broncos fans should be rooting for KC in this game. The Chiefs are no longer a problem for the Broncos. The Colts are. Higher goals are now in play. And then he said, no Broncos fan will ever root for the Chiefs if they have a chance for anything meaningful. He said chances at the 1 seed are more important than any rivalry. He couldn't be more wrong. We want them eliminated. We want them eliminated at all costs. I would much rather take the 2 or 3 seed with the Chiefs out than the 1 seed with them in. That's just the reality of the situation. Also, let me just pull something up. So you have to look at the Colts' remaining schedule. Guys, they're not getting the 1 seed. Exactly. All right, I agree. I'd rather the Chiefs not make the playoffs, but like it's not rooting for either team is going to make a difference on who wins. I agree, but it's not like cheering for the Broncos is going to change the outcome of the game. You know what I'm saying? Colts win, agree totally. Yep. Ask the Ravens and Bills how they felt about getting the Chiefs in the 2023 playoffs at home. Yeah, both teams sold those games monumentally. Buffalo with the missed kick, and then the Ravens just had so much stuff go wrong. They needed everything to go wrong for them to lose that game, and then the taunting penalties they got. The Zay Flowers fumble at the 1 yard line. That was one of the craziest one in a million plays I've ever seen. Zach said the same thing that we should want the Chiefs to win. Well, Zach isn't here right now. I mean, are you really afraid of the Patriots? I mean, Drake May is pretty freaking good. That being said, I don't think they've played a defense like ours. And Drake May has been sacked the second most in the NFL this year. I don't even want to imagine what our offensive line would do to their defensive line. Obviously, I would love for our pass rush to have the chance at home, especially because Mile High has been a house of horrors for Patriots fans or for the Patriots throughout their time, throughout our lifetimes at least. So I feel comfortable about that matchup. But yeah, guys, look at the Colts schedule. They're not getting the 1 seed. Like, look at this, okay? You have the Texans twice. You have the Seahawks and the 49ers, who are 2 of the, at least at very worst, top 8 teams in the league. The 49ers still very good with Brock Purdy. The Seahawks probably the 3rd, 4th, 5th best team in the league, if you will. They've also had a very favorable schedule. Yes, but, the schedule's not making all those throws that Drake May is doing. I agree that they haven't really been battle-tested yet, but we'll see. We'll see. They got a really impressive road win against the Bucs a couple weeks ago, but let me restart my camera real quick just to make sure that. All right. Just to. All right, here we go. Hopefully that fixes the issue of it flashing and autofocusing. Yeah, exactly. Tell me what quarterback head coach combo you're more worried about than Reed and Mahomes. Are you guys worried about Trevor Lawrence, Liam Cohen, 2 rookies when it comes to the postseason? I mean, Lawrence has been there before, but Liam Cohen, first-time head coach. Are you guys more worried about the tandem of Lamar Harbaugh? I am, but I'm not as worried about that as I am Reed and Mahomes. Are you guys worried about Sean McDermott, a guy who can't win big games and proves it time and time again, regardless of what Allen did to us last year in the playoffs? I'm not. Not more so than Mahomes and Reed. So, yeah, that's just what it boils down to. It's just what it boils down to. And like I said, guys, look at this schedule, okay? We can afford a Colts win because the Colts aren't getting the 1 seed, okay? You have the Texans twice. You have Seattle. You have the 49ers. And you also have Jacksonville twice. Jacksonville's a quality team. The Texans pass rush is crazy. And overall, I think anybody that does not want the Colts to win this game is completely out to lunch. Like, it is more important for the Chiefs to miss entirely. And that would be better for us because, once again, the Colts are not getting the 1 seed. Like, they're just not. Look at this schedule. They aren't. And even if they do get the 1 seed and we have to go on the road during the AFC Championship or the divisional round, we almost beat them. It took a phantom leverage call, or once again, not phantom leverage call, but a BS leverage call, you know, for it to happen for us, for the Colts to beat us. And yeah, so that's what I'm saying about that. So once again, anybody that actually wants the Chiefs to win because, oh, well, it helps our chances at the 1 seed. Like, yes, I would love for the AFC playoffs to run through Mile High. And, I understand the merits of it. I get, getting a bye or whatever and being able to rest up during the wild card week. All that stuff is fantastic, and you can't go wrong either way. I don't think I'm going to be upset with that, with either outcome for us, for the 1, 2, 3 seed. The only outcome I would truly be upset with is if we didn't win the division at this point. But if you want the Colts to win, you are out to lunch. I'm sorry. Ugh. I've got too much ice in my water. I have water down here. Okay. Let me get to a few of these comments. Oh, yeah. If you want the Chiefs to win, you are out to lunch. Yeah. Also, this camera thing, this autofocus and refocus is really annoying me right now. Oh, well. I'll fix it at some point. But yeah, either way, it's not a hard decision. Like, I can't wait. I do have a vertical stream activated, so I can't wait for the Chiefs fans to inevitably come in here and just start saying that we suck, even though we're 9-2 and just beat their team. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe because last night was one of the biggest bangers. Any update on if Jane Daniels is going to play the next week? I think I saw something that says he is potentially, I know it's not very helpful, but I saw something, I actually looked it up not too long ago, that he is potentially going to be available for that game. I know it's not helpful, but I don't think anybody's ruling it out. I'm trying to think. Who do they play tomorrow? Oh, wait, no, they're on a bye too. We're both on a bye. Our bye week is this week. No worries and no stress. Agreed. Even without PS2, I think we're playing better defense now than when we played the Colts. I'd love a rematch with the Colts in the playoffs. The thing is, first of all, we have never played the Colts well. Like, I get what you're saying. Yes, we are playing better defense. We just had a really shitty game week 2. And honestly, I've just boiled it up to week 2, Patrick Surtain is not that good. He's great 16 other weeks of the year, and I'll take a bad week every once in a while. But week 2, 2024, George Pickens gets the better of him. Week 2, 2023, Terry McLaurin gets the better of him. Week 2 this past year, Alec Pierce, Michael Pittman, they were making plays all day long. So, yeah. But I agree that we are playing better defense now than when we played the Colts, but I would also love a rematch with the Colts in the playoffs. But we also forget how to play football when we match up against the Colts. And also, that team is designed to give us problems. Like Tyler Warren and Jonathan Taylor, that is a very, very dangerous tight end running back combo. Now, granted, Alex Singleton probably had the worst game I've ever seen from a linebacker. When we played the Colts, I'm not even kidding. I literally made a video saying we witnessed a Levi Wallace game at inside linebacker the day after the Colts beat us. But Mark, let me know you're here because I promise you one thing. I'm not going to say anything bad about Alex Singleton after this year is over. I'm not going to say anything bad about him anymore because I underestimated what he meant to this team and this community. But yeah, hold on. Mark says, I think they ultimately hold him out. It's so pointless to play him and risk injury in a lost season. Yeah, but I would agree with the sentiment, but the Bengals are also going to, The Bengals are also going to be, how do I put this, playing Burrow sometime soon. And, it's a league that has billions of dollars, billions of legacies, or I'm not saying billions of legacies, but legacy's on the line. And ultimately, you forget just how competitive these guys are. Like, I think, yeah, you're probably right, but don't count them out for doing it. Don't count them out doing it either. Even though I know you're not, but still, he's a special person, man. He is. He is. And hold on, I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek. Sneak peek. What Singleton brings is more off the field than anything else, and it's palpable. It is. It is. And I think, I think he'd be a great inside linebacker coach for this team once, once he decides to move on, or once the team decides to move on, or once he decides to hang it up. Because, yeah, he is a special person in the community, and he bleeds blue and orange. I won't take that away from him. Once again, haven't really been happy with most of this season, but, it speaks volumes to the fact that he got the green dot with all these talented players on the defensive side of the ball. That says a lot to me. And that's something I didn't really care about when I was going through whatever, or when the season began, but it means something. All right, I'm going to show you guys a little sneak peek of something I've been working on. So I'm doing a little documentary about Vance Joseph. So look out for that. I'm going to probably finish. I got like halfway done with it, and then my mouse stopped working, and I was like, all right, I'm going to take a break from working on this, and I'm going to do whatever. I'm going to, go live or whatever. But yeah, I've got a little documentary about Vance Joseph dropping tomorrow after and I'm going to finish editing it once the stream is done in probably an hour or two. But yeah, hope you guys look out for that. Got to do a little self-promotion. And if you guys are not following Marquee Sports Denver already, make sure you are. Great Avs, Nuggets, and Broncos mind. Join the community that we're building here. And, also look out for our weekly show on Mondays, even though I always late join. It's always pretty cool because, me, Mark, David, and Jeremy, we all make content throughout the week. And so you guys get to see plenty of us. But there are a lot of other people that, I've talked to in the Broncos landscape that, they have their shows, and it is what it is, but they don't get to make content throughout the week. So we all make content, and then we all come together, and it's fantastic. But you guys are going to love this documentary. Here, I'm going to show you guys a little sneak peek. Hold on. I'm going to make sure the audio is shared. I'm going to make sure I'm sharing this audio. What's going on with my mouse? Here we go. You guys are going to love this. I promise you. Also share system audio. Here we go. Vance Joseph was a defensive coach trying to manage both sides of the ball. And he allowed to put his own staff together. So it's no wonder the offense consistently struggled. The Broncos went 5-11 in 2017. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that little sneak peek of that video dropping tomorrow. It's the second documentary I've made on this channel. And it's, obviously the first one was a very, very long video about how Sean Payton ultimately rebuilt the team and how the Penners took over and what we did to get nosedived into the ground. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that. Once again, I hope when I see T Fishes and Seth Hewitt in here, because those guys have been absolutely fantastic minds, and those guys are going to start their own Broncos channels pretty soon. But hold on, I'm going to share our schedule for the rest of the season. Oh yeah, trust me, I've been cooking. I've been working on it since about 3 p.m. today. And I think I'm going to upload it tomorrow at like 9, because videos early in the morning on Sundays usually do pretty fine. So trust me, it's going to be a banger. It's going to be a banger, and I'm going to go through Vance Joseph's time at CU, him going to San Francisco, then him going to Cincinnati, then Miami, then here with us as a head coach for the first time, and then Arizona, where he really started redeeming himself, and the redemption arc really, really started. And then ultimately us and what he's done. What's up, Judah? Again. Yes, can't wait. I appreciate you, Mark. But yeah, what's up, son of Judah? Always fantastic to see you in here, as we've got about 17 viewers across both streams right now on this Saturday, November 22nd edition of Denver Broncos Tonight. Hold on. I'm going to see what you guys catch up in college football today. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So the slate of games is pretty much over tonight. Let's catch up on some college football. I'm going to share you some quick thoughts. So SEC championship looks like it's going to be Texas A&M and Georgia, assuming Texas A&M doesn't completely blow it against UT next week. Although it is very possible because Texas A&M and UT Austin are big rivals. So yeah. It's really hard for me to pick anybody other than Ohio State repeating. Like, I was at Ohio State versus Penn State 2 weeks ago, and I was literally bored because of how good Ohio State was. Like, I was literally starting to get bored and falling asleep in my seat because of how good Ohio State was, and they just run the competition out of the stadium. Now, the only thing, I think that style of football is only fun to watch for Ohio State fans because I've enjoyed every second of a bunch of blowouts the Broncos have had the past few years, and it's fun for us, but as a neutral, it's not that fun. I have no idea how Eastern Illinois managed to get a game against Bama. Like, maybe Bama paid them $1 million just to, just blow their doors off or whatever. So that's pretty cool. Vanderbilt, man, if they didn't play in the SEC, they could have had a shot or something. By the way, Jeremiah Love, are you guys ready for the discourse during draft season? How high is too high for a running back? Because that's going to happen this year again. I know a lot of people said that or asked that about Genty last year. And look at this. 8 carries, 171 yards, 3 touchdowns, 21.4 yards per carry. That's like literally better than my running backs in college football. In college football, even playing on Heisman difficulty, I averaged 16 yards per carry. So that's insane. That is absolutely insane. A few other thoughts. I think this is just top 25 teams. I'm surprised Tulane is number 37. I'm surprised Tulane is ranked, but I mean, maybe I shouldn't be because they beat Temple 37-13. USC versus Oregon. Looks like Oregon took care of business. Another guy that a lot of people are patting the table for right now is first-round tight end prospect potential in Kenyon Sadiq. And once again, I've said this to you guys a lot. I really don't like first-round tight end. I think first-round tight end is a really bad idea. But hey, there was somebody in my chat. I can't remember his name, but he's a big Utah fan. And I thought of him while this game was going on. Devin Dampier, I think he played at New Mexico last year, and this game was an absolute banger. Okay, Kansas State was up 31-21 at halftime, and then Utah just completely storms back. Okay, Avery Johnson, he got stadium pulsed on the last drive of the game. Kansas State has a very, very good running game. I remember they had Dylan Edwards who went out for the year, and I guess I don't even know who this guy is, Joe Jackson. I guess he's their new lead back or whatever, but Kansas State versus Utah. That's pretty sick there. What else we got going on? My second favorite college team, Maryland, got destroyed by Michigan right here. I remember Maryland had a chance to do something good in the game, and then their quarterback threw a pick. First round running backs will always be a terrible pick. Always. The reason I don't know if it'd always be a terrible pick. Like if somebody were to, like the Rams were to do it, especially because they own Atlanta's pick, I could get a lot more behind it. But yeah, I'm usually not about the value of a first round running back. I think first round tight end is even worse, as crazy as that is to say. But obviously we've had success stories like Bowers and Warren the past few years. But yeah, I don't know. First round tight end the hit rate has been atrocious since 2017. Lucas Oil has been a house of horrors. Give me Casey at home. I mean, you make a good point about Lucas Oil being a house of horrors, but we're going to win again. Like, we should have won in week 2. We will win again. I promise. We'll win there this time. Wow, number 23, Houston lost. And then Georgia Tech got absolutely destroyed. So Georgia Tech is not going to be in the ACC championship. I was just floored that Georgia Tech got run out of run out of their own stadium this badly. The Swamp continues to not be that good. Also, Illinois losing to Wisconsin, like what? Illinois was undefeated at one point before they played Indiana. On the flip side, Algier is an incredible free agent prospect since Denver. I agree. Hold on. I'm going to show you guys something. I'm going to show, speaking of Algier, I should show y'all something. So this is from 2022. This was the first video I made that really popped off, and I said that Tyler Algier was the best running back in the 2022 draft. Now maybe that looks foolish looking back on it because what's it called? Tyler Algier has he was a 5th round pick, and the draft had guys like Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall, but Tyler Algier I thought was going to be the best pro running back in that 2022 draft. So yeah, figured I'd share that with y'all. Hold on. Also, I'm not done recapping these college football games. BYU, I think they clinched the Big 12 championship with this. ASU and CU, oh Jesus, I didn't realize it was that bad. Raleek Brown was an absolute monster in college football 25. Juju Lewis, what happened here? I know CU's kind of in free fall mode, but yeah. It also, don't forget about my beloved Arizona Wildcats, who were down 17-14 at half, and then they put the clamps on Baylor. Baylor had one of the best, most efficient passing attacks in the country coming into this week until they came into Arizona at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time today. Man, I'm telling you guys, this Arizona team, they're not that great. They did lose to Houston on the road. I mean, I guess that's not that bad. They got the doors blown off by Iowa State. They should have won this game against BYU. I'm being so for real. When it went into overtime, there's no reason it should have gone into overtime, but it did. And now they play against ASU next Black Friday at 7 p.m. But yes, this is my favorite college football team right here, and I promise you, look out for some legit draft prospects from Arizona as well. And honestly, it's just gotten to the point where I'm just ready to look at some mock drafts. We did this last night, and it was a lot of fun. We did this last night. It was a lot of fun. So, yeah. Wait, I have one water with ice and one water with no ice. And also, I figured I would take this time to plug my sponsors. Actually, I'm not sponsored by Burt's Bees, but I should be. If you guys see my chewed up chapstick, whatever, my chewed up cap. Yeah. Once again, not sponsored by them, but I should be, okay? I should be. We got 22 of you in here on both streams, okay? Is Keldrick Falk really getting hype like that to where he's being mocked over Ruben Bain? Wait, I gotta investigate this. Is Keldrick Falk him? Hold on. Oh, maybe he might be him if Cincinnati's going to draft him to fix their edge problems. Huh. That's interesting. Either way, yeah. Let's talk some ball here, okay? Man. This is one of our guys too, isn't it? Luce Cataglia. Carnell Tate, number 1. That's crazy. Arvell Reese, so it looks like he's going in the top 5. I thought when before the year began, I was like, man, the Broncos could really target him at the end of the first round. You know what happens. Prospects are volatile, and it looks like Arvell Reese has driven his draft stock up in a big way. But yeah, I'm going to see who we keep getting mocked. Let's see who we got mocked in this one. Oh, another corner. Surprise, surprise. Are you guys surprised that we got mocked another corner? So apparently, Lenoris to the Rams would be so sick. I love Lenoris. Not as a prospect, but I love the goggles. I love the goggles he wears. Either way, Mekhi Lemon did not go in this mock draft, so that's interesting. I think wide receiver is currently the position that most Broncos fans have circled, highlighted, starred, squared. Yeah. Once again, that's interesting. But yeah, Kenyon Sadiq. A lot of people are giving him, buzz, first round buzz. And it just remains to be seen. Like, I haven't decided if I actually like the profile or not, to where I'd want the team to take him in like the first round or whatever. Is PS2 coming back for the Commanders game? I would guess so. Because the team did not put him on IR. But it wouldn't surprise me if they held him out for a little bit longer. But I think he'll play next week, because everything about the injury, like, it seems like he's feeling pretty good right now. So I'm going to take that as a positive sign. And, once again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not an insider either. But I would guess so. I would guess that he's coming back for the Washington Commanders game. Wow. All right. We got 19 of you in here. Let's go. But yeah, so let's pull up some PFF. Let's pull up some PFF. I'm going to look up Kenyon Sadiq real quick. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Hi there, Cobra. Yo, let's see you again. Let's see you again. You did a phenomenal job in the chat last night. I'm happy to see you again here, my man. Thoughts on the Texans defense being better than the Broncos? Not true. The reason it's not true is because, primetime magnifies storylines, and primetime can amplify recency bias. And the Texans defense is not better than ours. It is good. It is good. They're the second best in the league, but their pass rush is not as ferocious as ours. Okay. So we're going to need to watch some tape on Kenyon Sadiq to determine how I really, really feel about him. Maybe I'll hit up the Guru film room and start watching him tonight, before I go to bed or whatever. But ultimately, what am I looking for? As a Broncos fan, the stats don't lie, or is it inflated? Tell that to Josh Allen, 8 sacks. I mean, yeah, I guess they did drop Allen 8 times, but once again, just because they had an amazing performance against a Bills offensive line and a Bills offense that's an absolute shambles right now, that doesn't make me think that they're automatically the best defense in the NFL. As a Broncos fan, the stats don't lie, or is it inflated? I mean, no. Like, once again, they're a really good defensive unit. But yeah, no, I'm still taking our defense. Our defense has made the clutch plays. Our defense has kept us in literally every game. They even gave us a chance to win in Indy, which you can't say that about every game. I'm looking for film from Guru Film Room on Kenyon Sadiq. But either way, so here's what we got going on. We got Montana State. He had an 84.2 run blocking grade. So I will need to watch a bunch of tape on him. I think us getting 6 sacks on Hurts with the top 10 O-line was better than the Texans sacking Allen 8. Yeah, agreed. And, once again, I will say, though, like, it was a bunch of blitzing, but it doesn't discredit the fact that that's what's going on. Also, I'm pretty sure our pressure rate is higher than Houston, and we have more sacks than Houston. But I'm too lazy to check that right now. But if I'm wrong, then fantastic. But either way, so let's look at the offensive production from Kenyon Sadiq this year. A lot of people want him to go in the first round. With me, with tight ends especially, you want to draft guys with strong production profiles, okay? You want to draft guys that basically produce no matter what, especially at the tight end position. Like, yeah, you want your athletic freaks, but even the 10 relative athletic scores guys like Jelani Woods is a complete nothing burger in the NFL. Wait, what? Hold on. No way. Is this true, chat? Am I tweaking? Okay, no, I haven't found anything about that. You guys, can you give me like a, wait, I got to turn on ESPN right now. If that's the case, hold on. You better not be tweaking. You better not be messing with me right now. Well, I'm turning on everything I can. Oh, I guess Vegas F1 is going on right now, and that's more important than them reporting that. I don't know. Also, I was in Vegas for F1 2 years ago, and it was not that cool. Yeah, once again. First of all, I have ESPN on my TV right now, and I'm not seeing literally anything about that. Yeah, no. All right. I think you're just trolling at this point. Either way, back to talking about Kenyon Sadiq, because first of all, I haven't seen anything on Twitter. Like, I have not seen anything on Twitter. So yeah, I'm not. Besides Colts versus Chiefs, what games are you watching Sunday? That's actually a good question. Let me look at the NFL slate tomorrow. Okay, this one's going to be like a 50-0 game. Let's see. This one will be good. This game's always good. Even if both teams are not as strong as we had maybe expected, I'm pretty interested in how that game turns out between Green Bay and the Vikings. This game's going to be a bloodbath. The Giants without Dart or poverty. Steelers Bears. This one could be pretty cool. Patriots Bengals. If Burrow's not going to play, this one once again is going to be a bloodbath. Yeah, either way, Steelers versus Bears. That one could be fun. That one could be a lot of fun. Jaguars Cardinals. Why is that game in the late window? Oh, I think it's because Pacific. Eagles Cowboys. As much as people want to talk about the rivalry, I'm not going to gaslight myself into caring about the game. Tomorrow's slate sucks. Like, I'm sorry. Oh, never mind. This one should be a heater. This one's going to be a heater. Vikings fighting for playoff lives versus Packers. Yeah, that's going to be sick. Especially because the Vikings have been one of the most successful regular season teams over the past few years. So they're in uncharted territory right now. Also, why is this on Monday Night Football? I guess Carolina's 6-5, so it's whatever. But Thanksgiving, let's go Cowboys. And ultimately, I just don't want the Bengals to sneak in, because if the Bengals can sneak in, they probably have a really good chance of disrupting somebody's season. So I really, really don't want. Yeah, Bucks Rams is big. Bucks Rams is very big. Either way, yeah, once again, I'm just watching ESPN college football in my background right here, and looks like a lot of people are. Wow, ASU had a really, really long run. ASU had a really long run right there, but oh well. But yeah, Bucks Rams is a big one right there. So And then hold on, I'm going to try to set up my TikTok live so that you can stream. You should go live more often. I'm going live every night, dude. Like every night, I love doing this. And yeah, my take is JJ McCarthy is not that good. Should have kept Darnold. I agree. JJ McCarthy's not that good. I didn't really like him as a prospect. That being said, I get the process of wanting to let him go, and wanting Darnold to be the guy. I get the process of having faith in Kevin O'Connell to coach up your young quarterback, one who you took 10th overall without seeing him play. It is tough the way it turned out, but I don't think they did anything like super duper wrong in that regard. But yeah, it is really tough the way it turned out. I'm not going to deny that. So, oh well. The alter ego thing is crazy. What are you talking about? All right. All right. Are you talking about? Could you clarify? Because I think I can. Oh. Yeah, I don't get that. I don't get that either. Like, I'm sorry, my guy, but you haven't played well enough to like earn a nickname yet. It is kind of corny, I will say. But yeah. You're right. That is a little odd. That is a little bizarre. So, oh well. But yeah, once again, that is a little. That's corny. Corny as all heck. Yeah, once again, guys, any predictions for tomorrow? Any predictions for tomorrow? Anything you guys in particular want to talk about? Because there's about 18 of you in here, and I love saying what's up. Hello. Hello, everybody on TikTok that is joining my TikTok live. Pretty happy to see y'all in here on this lovely edition of Denver Broncos Tonight, November 22nd, Saturday, 2026. Once again, I get why the I get why the Vikings did let him go, but it's tough the way it turned out too, because sometimes in the NFL you do those things and sometimes they work and sometimes they don't. Whatever. And that's completely fine, so I don't really care. Who are the Ravens playing? I'm definitely watching out for them. Who are they playing? I forget. I know I just saw it not too long ago. I don't think they're playing a good team. Okay, yeah, they're playing the Jets. They're playing the Jets, so they're definitely going to sneak in. They're definitely going to sneak in. Yeah, exactly. Like, ugh. Like, I think best case scenario for us is that the Steelers get into the playoffs, but best case scenario for the league, like, I don't know, the Steelers just have no legitimacy. They're not a playoff team, and they shouldn't be. Like, if college football had a playoff committee, the Steelers would not make the playoffs. So I get that, but at the end of the day, that's just the reality of the situation. You think Harvey and the rest of the running backs can take us deep, or do you think we should go out and get someone else? First of all, I think I'm a little disappointed with Harvey so far. Like, I'm disappointed with him as a pure runner because he's a 24-year-old running back. Like, running backs should not be this tumultuous of a transition to the NFL. Like, I'm just being so for real, especially being a 24-year-old one. Like, I'm sorry. A 24-year-old running back should be having the impact on the ground better than RJ Harvey's having right now. But if you're talking about like the rest of the running back room, I don't think it's that good. But if they roll with it for the rest of the year, I think it'd be funny. So yeah, but I'd like if they claimed Dameon Pierce, but I would be fine if they also didn't. Caden says, as much as I despise the Chiefs, we kind of need them to win if we want to keep the 1 seed. First of all, once again, the Colts are not getting the 1 seed. Their strength of schedule is too difficult, so I don't really care. I watch a lot of Eisen. He's a Michigan alum and thinks highly of JJ McCarthy. I don't watch a lot of Rich Eisen. I don't really watch a whole lot of national media. I keep it local here, but I mean, not surprising. I know plenty of guys that are biased when it comes to like their college schools and like their prospects or whatever. That being said, I didn't think McCarthy was like a horrible prospect or anything. I thought he was probably the worst first round quarter or top 10 quarterback ever taken. But, maybe we just need to give these guys time to develop. Like McCarthy obviously didn't play last year, but yeah, I get why everybody's, so interested in, making sure everything else stays the same. But I don't think it's that bad. Kind of feeling a little slow out there. Sean will keep it as is. Sean Ziegler will keep it as is. I don't think he's being slow necessarily. I just don't think he's that good of a runner right now. I don't think Harvey's that good of a runner right now. So, which is disappointing because once again, he is an older running back prospect, and you take one in the second round. That's pretty decent capital. He's been good in the receiving game, but I still feel like the training wheels are on him. I just can't put my finger on him at why he looks so different from his time at UCF. Now, granted, the Big 12 is not really that good of a conference, like at least defensively. It's not like he was in the SEC just tearing it up, but he was UCF's entire offense last year. So I'm a little surprised that it hasn't like materialized into a bunch of opportunity and playing time and stats and production. Good point. We expect instant results. We do. We do expect instant results. All right. So yeah. Yeah, but either way, we should expect instant results from RJ Harvey. So I'm a little disappointed that we haven't gotten it thus far, but oh well, such is life. Such is life. Yeah, guys, any other thoughts about like the games tomorrow, about the slate tomorrow? Because to be completely honest, I think tomorrow's going to be a pretty lame NFL slate. Like the Patriots are playing the Bengals. I expect the Patriots to win by a lot. You're very correct. You are very correct. The NFL players are bigger, faster, more talented than the players he saw playing at UCF. The main schools that he beat up on when he was at UCF were Arizona, which is my favorite team. Who else did he really beat up on? Oklahoma State, Oregon State, I think. And then there was another game where he just went absolutely nuclear, but I get what you're saying. Yes, you are correct. You're correct. But at the end of the day, like he had more 10-yard runs than Genty last year on less opportunities. So I'm wondering in college. And UCF's offensive line was not that good. So I'm just wondering like what happened. I'm just wondering what happened because it's just crazy. And yeah, I love being a Broncos thought leader. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of my analysis? But yeah, we should expect instant results from a 24-year-old running back. We should expect more instant results from a 24-year-old running back at the very least, because we took him with a premium pick and they lauded his vision or whatever. But for whatever reason, he's just not running well. Now I understand in the NFL, there are guys who just run well and those who don't. But I don't know why you take him in the second round. And then he's just not that good of a runner right now. So, yeah. What do you think we should do to be better at tight end? Well, first of all, the draft or trade. Like, draft or trade is better for this team this upcoming year. Like, this was a comment I got on TikTok from Pete Parker. The reason we need to be better at tight end, and the way we could be better at tight end is we just need to, I'm gonna be honest, we just need better dudes. Like, I'm just being so for real when it comes to that. I'm just being so for real that we just need better dudes with more juice at the tight end position. Adam Trautman's fine. What would I do right now? I mean, you can't really do a whole lot because the trade deadline's already passed. So the trade deadline's already passed, and I'm not activating Kroll for the playoffs. I'm just not. Neither of them can block very well. Yeah, Ingram is not that good. Adam Trautman and Lucas Kroll suck. I love Nate Adkins, but he's always injured. Yeah, that's true. I really wish we got Gaston agreed. But yeah, Pete Parker on TikTok. I think we're just screwed regardless. Like, and unfortunately, that's just the reality of the situation. And it sucks. It really sucks because it shouldn't be that way. Like, we should have been more aggressive. We should have been a lot more aggressive in going through our tight end plan last year, but oh well, such is life. Such is life. But yeah, no, if there's anything I'm really disappointed with Ingram in this year, it's his blocking. Like, I know that he hasn't really been involved as a receiver, but like Sean Payton, he went out and he made getting Evan Ingram a really big deal. So I don't get why it's been so bad. Well, they thought Evan Ingram was going to be better. Well, yeah, I agree. They thought Evan Ingram was going to be better. And, I don't blame them for going out and trying something because the tight end room we had last year was completely unacceptable for a contending team. We're 9-2 and didn't give up draft picks. I'm good. See, the problem is we're 9-2. That's the time to give up draft picks because your picks are going to be late. But like I would have loved Jalen Waddle, but for a deal to happen, it takes two to tango. So yeah. OC News is saying pros and cons. We didn't sell the farm to get anyone, but we didn't bolster an inconsistent offense. You're right. Now, I would love for us to trade Jalen Waddle and revisit that idea after the year begins. But, if you're Miami's interim GM, you just don't want to be known as the guy that traded Jalen Waddle. You just don't. If we traded Patrick Surtain, who would you want to get? I wouldn't want to get anyone. The reason I wouldn't want to get anyone is because this is not Madden. No, I'm kidding. Not that I wouldn't want to get anyone, but I'm not going to entertain this thought just because it's not Madden. Like, it's not happening. Pat Bryant is developing nicely. You are correct. You are very correct. Pat Bryant is developing very nicely. Pat Bryant's one of the most high floor rookie wide receivers I've ever seen. And kudos to him because honestly, that was a pick I was not a huge fan of when we made it back in draft season. But yeah. Hold on. I'm going to crop this. Wait, why is trying to get my TikTok live all set in order? Okay. Right. And I think I can do this. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, here we go. Pat Bryant is fire. He is. Can we get Bryant to help Troy Franklin's catching? I mean, maybe. I don't know how you help a guy's catching, though. Or I think the problem with Franklin is not his hands. I don't think his hands are bad, but his hand-eye coordination is just terrible. His hand-eye coordination is literally one of the worst I've ever seen from an athlete. And then, hold on. How can I preview this? How can I preview this on mobile? Okay, here we go. There we go. Welcome back, OC News. Pat Bryant's going to be a problem. Yeah, I agree. His separation is insane. It is, and he's one of those guys that he didn't play very well, but or he didn't test very well athletically, but he's legitimately one of the highest floor rookie wide receivers I've ever seen. Anytime the play comes to him, he makes it. Honestly, a tie would be amazing for us. A tie would not only like bump the Chiefs down, I think, in the standings, assuming Baltimore wins tomorrow, but yeah. Why Kevin Ingram isn't a tight end? Tight end is just a heavy wide receiver. Agreed. And like he's just a glorified slot receiver. But until he actually comes out and gets the wide receiver label, I think teams are still labeling him as a tight end. Why can't Evan get open? I don't know. It's kind of been weird. It's been weird why Evan Ingram can't get open because honestly, I think the chemistry, you go back to the injury that he had in week 2. Apparently, he was destroying the defense in training camp. Our defense, the best defense in the league. And then, I don't know, he gets here, and then it's just not that good. It's just not that whatever. His skill's just not all that. But Franklin and Nix hooked up a lot at Oregon. They did. They did faux show. Yeah, Pat Bryant's route running is awesome. Shout out to the TikTok audience. Y'all making. Can I pick a tie? Go Colts. I feel like you should never, in a trillion cheers, cheer for a division rival. Yeah, I agree. I agree that you shouldn't cheer for a division rival, but oh well. I'm just glad tomorrow we get to watch a stressful-free football Sunday. That's true. But when the bye week's happening, it's so sad. It's so sad when the bye week happens, and overall, I am going to be sad. I'm going to be missing the Broncos tomorrow. I'm going to be missing the Broncos tomorrow. But yeah, this team has definitely earned this bye. Well earned. Well earned, well deserved bye week. Yeah, but any thoughts y'all have to share about this lovely game that we got tomorrow? Who do you guys think wins? That's a curious question. Or that's something I'm curious about. Who do you guys think wins the game tomorrow? Denver needs to plan on keeping McMillan. They absolutely do. I think you got to keep every guy who's a crucial piece of this secondary. Every guy who's a crucial piece of the secondary, you got to keep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. If the Chiefs can't stop Jonathan Taylor, I think they'll win comfortably. I think you are right. I think you are completely right. Is there any news about Dameon Pierce, and do you think uh, Denver should even think about picking him up? No. There's no news about him. I think Denver should absolutely consider picking Dameon Pierce up. But yeah, they might only let JFM go. They might. There's a very good chance that JFM is the only guy we lose, which that would suck because I think we should keep JFM. I really do. Um, and even though he's in a contract year, he hasn't been like super publicly vocal about anything. Not to say that I think he's like stoked with the way things are headed, but yeah. And that's completely fine. That is completely fine. So I don't really care. I do too. I was hoping they'd do more work on that interior line. Agreed. Like in the offseason, I agree. But yeah. Will Big Clutch Lutz just got an extension? Congrats. Yeah, man. Congrats to you, Will Lutz. Congrats, Will Lutz. That is a well-deserved extension. Especially because anytime Will Lutz goes out there, I feel confident about whatever. I feel confident that he will get it done. Colts still have a pretty tough schedule. Yeah, exactly. Like this is what I'm saying. The Colts aren't getting the 1 seed. Even if they win tomorrow, the Colts still have Houston twice. They still have Jacksonville twice. They still have the Seahawks and the 49ers. So like Indianapolis is not Indianapolis is not getting the 1 seed. I don't care what anybody says. Is Riley a liability? He played like a liability. I think overall he still is a net positive for this team, but holy cow, that was painful. That was painful. The fact that he kept getting flagged for like illegal PI, pill interference or whatever, that was bad. That was bad. That really sucked. To be honest, I think we're fighting the number 1 seed with New England. They have an easier schedule than both the Broncos and the Colts. You are right. You are right. Like the New England schedule this year is it's disgustingly easy. And they only have Bengals left. That's actually going to be a tough game. Buffalo left. That is going to be a tough game. I mean, the Bengals, they're playing them tomorrow with Joe Flacco still and without Jamar Chase. So that's obviously going to be tough. But yeah. Sure. The Colts, yeah. But if anyone remembers, the Bulls had problems with penalties early in the year. You are correct. I think that's part of it. Like obviously, he's not being officiated properly. So this is the only thing that I think that he's done wrong. So yes, I do think he's getting discriminated against because he's a white corner. Colts or Chiefs in the AM. Who to root for? You're rooting for the Colts. They're not getting the 1 seed anyway. New England also has the Ravens. You're right. They do have the Ravens, and while the Ravens aren't going to be a walk in the park, must be nice playing a division where you play the Jets and Dolphins 4 times. That's true, but let's be honest. The Chiefs got us and the Raiders 4 times for the past like 7 to 8 years. Cooper DeJean or Riley Moss, Cooper DeJean. Like, Cooper DeJean is probably the best slot corner in the NFL. Oh, sorry. I had to pick my nose real quick there. Riley is good, and he just has to jam off the line and use his hand placement and not just his feet. You are correct. You are very correct. And also, he needs to play the ball more, not the wide out. Like, had he played the ball on the Hollywood Brown 3rd and 17, where he didn't need to interfere, like, that was not going to be caught anyway. I don't know, man. I just feel like he could have done that so much differently. Why do we want the Colts? Listen, the reason we want the Colts is because... Oh, yeah. Yeah. Hold on. The reason we want the Colts is because we're going into Lucas Oil and we're winning in the playoffs. Like, that's just the reality of the situation. And once again, the most important thing for us is that the Chiefs are out. The AFC is very winnable this year, but if the Chiefs are not in, then I don't know, man. Or if the Chiefs aren't able to stay out, then I don't know. I'm just not encouraged. There is no team that you want to see in the playoffs. I promise you, there is no team you want to see less than the Kansas City Chiefs. No team that you want to see less than the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's not because I think they're particularly a bad matchup for us. I think, I go back to Vance Joseph when he said about Kansas City not getting the number one, or Kansas City, whatever. You don't mind not having the number one seed because you want to keep Kansas City out of the picture. That is exactly why, and that's why I'm pinning that comment. Once again, we'll go into Gillette, we'll win. We'll go into Lucas Oil, we'll win. I can't guarantee that Kansas City, even if they come here, we're going to win that game. Targeted 17 times. See, the problem is, like, when all these stats are great, but when you're getting, like, such big holding penalties every week, it's bad. And obviously, Moss is my favorite player, but I can't deny that it hasn't been easy. And granted, he's not being officiated properly. Like, he is not being officiated properly, but yeah. What, in your opinion, would make this season a success? Obviously, going to the Super Bowl would be awesome, but if they don't do that, I think winning a playoff game this year and then making to the AFC Championship game. I would only say AFC Championship because this season is very winnable. The AFC is very winnable this year. Buffalo is faltering. The Baltimore hasn't been Baltimore pretty much all year long. Kansas City is, one of those teams that, they're probably going to come alive at some point, but oh well. The fact that they haven't so far is like, whatever. What is your prediction on the rest of the season? I think we go. I think we drop Arrowhead at Christmas night. Like, Arrowhead is a tall task to accomplish against a desperate Chiefs team, and I think the only other team that might beat us is Green Bay is going to be a fight, but I still think we win. But I'm seeing 12-5 at the very, very worst. Seeing 12-5 at the very worst. That's us going 3-3 down the stretch. In all our really tough games left, which are Green Bay and the Chargers, most of our really tough games are at home too. So yeah. Chargers fans' only excuse is that they blame their offensive line, or their O-line is trash. I'm surprised they don't blame it on their own game. I mean, let's be honest. What would our offensive line look like if we lost our two best players? Like, Slater and All are literally game changers when they're healthy. So it's not an invalid excuse, but yeah, I agree. So yeah, you're not entirely wrong, but still. The Chargers could go either way since it's the last game, so we may be resting the starters. We may be. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Yeah. Any games to look out for tomorrow besides Colts at KC? Keep an eye on New England Bengals. Just keep an eye on that one. Chargers going to charge it. They are Cobra. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Shout out to y'all in the TikTok chat for, kind of keeping this going. But, yeah. Overall, I think it's been an absolutely phenomenal experience with y'all. And, yeah, I appreciate you joining. I promise I'll go live longer next time, but still. All right, peace out, y'all. Cowboys upset Philly. That'd be cool. Chiefs lose to the Colts and the Cowboys this week. I think the playoffs over. Oh, I agree. So that's why we need them out ASAP. And then Houston would be the nail in the coffin if Houston can get it done in 2 weeks. But yeah. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I'm really tired, but shout out y'all in the chat. Daniel, KCM, Cobra, Gucci Balapos. This is shorter than I usually go on. I'm sorry, but yeah. Cobra as well. But either way. So yeah, appreciate y'all, and I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your night.